Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back with another one. Back with another one. This is Daily Hump Dump, the 41st edition, and we're gonna talk about a lot today. Shoo, it's been real. This new daylight saving time is done in. It started what Sunday. The clocks are set back Sunday, and this is a 41st edition. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff going on. And yes, and New York has a new mayor. They have a new mayor. His name is Zoran Mundani. Some people don't like him, whatever. It don't matter, man. Like a lot of people try to say it's real hope. I hear people talking shit online. We ain't gonna talk about the sorry administration we seen. It's over for them. Like I try to tell you, this blue wave is for real. Like if this is where they going, do not be surprised. Like it's a repeat of history once again. Like you can't expect nothing for a fool that always hate on everybody, but you know what I'm saying? But this is what y'all voted for, this is what y'all get, like I told y'all there's retribution on these parties. They're in it for the money, and we understand they ain't shit. But that's life. America is one of those countries, but they still practice the same utilitarian thoughts as usual, especially on that side, and shouts out to people who say you can't trust the liberals. You can't trust neither one of them, to be honest with you. I'm just saying it from a optics perspective. um you're going to have to look at it from angle to angle, and I think this is something that you got to look at and just say this is it and this is what we're going. I don't see what's going on in the NBA right now because I know there's some games. So see what's on tonight. It's probably short schedule, but that YouTube and that league past 7 o'clock. Oh, I gotta watch the Pistons and the Jazz. I definitely watched that one. The ESPN one, Knicks and Timberwolves. All right. That's gonna be a doozy. That's gonna be a doozy. That's gonna be a doozy. ESPN. I have to watch it on another network. Spurs and Lakers. Oh yeah, I gotta watch that. Them two games right there. Especially the Spurs and Lakers. I gotta watch that. Yeah. Who's on League Pass? I gotta watch my Pistons. League Pass have them both on the same side, different sounds and shit. YouTube TV. I don't have that no more. I'm good on that. So Thursday night, it's gonna be the Clippers and the Suns. NBA TV. I'm definitely gonna try to see that NBA TV, which is interesting. And Friday they got Prime. I don't mess with Prime. I don't fuck with that shit. Fuck Jeff Bezos. I don't deal with Prime. I don't like Amazon Prime. Saturday they got okay. This is ESPN that night. Okay. It's a lot going on tonight. Yeah, we're gonna watch. Yeah, man, it's pretty interesting. But football is normal. A lot of teams they say Kansas City's gonna make the playoffs. I don't think so this year. They're gonna have that down year like Brady. And Michael Irvin said something very telling on Cam's show. He said they're just gonna be a team. The mediocrity set in. Like I said, the Colts is for real. Yeah, they 7-2, and they were 7-1 for a minute. Patriots is 7-2 because they lost. I think they only lost what, 2 games, or did they just beat Atlanta? I want to see if they beat Atlanta. I think Atlanta lost that game, or did they win? That's what I want to see. Atlanta's 3-5. Who did they lose? I want to know if they lose that game against the Patriots. I want to know, did they lose against the Patriots? Yeah, they lost to the Patriots. Yeah. They was 3-4 and 3-5. Okay, so Patriots is 7-2. Damn, Patriots is looking good. Last time we seen them good is Brady. Eagles had a bye week. They 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 beat the Giants. They played them on the 10th on Monday. Eagles and Packers on Monday. I gotta watch that game. They had a bye week somewhere around early November, so they had a bye week. They're gonna play the Lions at home on the 19th. Then the Cowboys, they're gonna beat the Cowboys. They're gonna beat the Chargers. Eagles gonna be on fire, man. Eagles, they said they got a tough schedule. No, they don't. Buffalo will be an interesting game. That's gonna be interesting. Them in Buffalo, they're gonna beat Buffalo. They're gonna beat the Commanders. Commanders are through, and they're gonna beat them twice. So they're gonna beat the Commanders twice, and they're gonna beat the Bears. Yeah, we got them. Yeah, Eagles is the champs are looking fiery. Philadelphia's a tough team. So it's so much shit out there. But yeah, but you got these content creators. They talk about political stuff, historical stuff. I've been watching certain reaction channels. They're a bunch of morons, man. They don't know shit about history. These so-called white people don't care nothing about y'all. Y'all see words to them anyway. And y'all talk like they know politics. Most of them don't know shit. They're just a bunch of morons that think they know politics, but when you listen to their channels and they diss the so-called manosphere, the 2.0 niggas, right? The ones they talk about Myra and all them, these niggas don't have a clue about red pill spaces. Red pill spaces always exist. There's different levels. It's not a small community, and a lot of people try to say no, it's big. The space is not that small. If you think it's that small, you are delusional. Only stupid people believe it's small and all that. These people need like get the fuck out of the space then. It's not that small, bro. If it was small, we would have known about it. Why is it not small? Because number one, it's a real space and people have been on this shit for years. You know how many people that stop and believe in shit what people say? See, this shit right here is understandable. And when you look at these things, I'm like, what is wrong with people? Now, some people don't like the fact that the manosphere is like the 1.0 is still standard to this day, especially online, offline, and things like that. And it had its way probably the years of 2008, 2014, and then expanded into politics. Now these clowns, these wannabes, like the BGSs, the fuck boys, they ruined everything that you see. That the principles that Wacky and Soul and Black put out was standard, and Sergeant Willie P. A lot of the brothers put standards on it, but the so-called mainstream manosphere, these clowns like the Nick Fuentes, these little bitches that they are, that has something to do with the golden tickets, execution. There's a split difference, and no boy trying to say it's all. No, it's them. They're already being destroyed. They're gonna lose this midterms, and your boy that's in the current White House is out. It's over for him. It's over. I don't see him winning it, and it's over. See that Diddy shit and that LeBron shit, that gambling shit, the casino shit. I just came out of Ticket TV's live stream. They was talking about that shit. Man, it's over, bro. Because see, we see what two parties do. They said they're the same. No, they're not. They're the same on money, but when it comes to policies, it's different. Democrats like to play police, and they're pushing the actual belief system, conservatism, aka socialism, all this communal shit. That's what they want. Republicans care about utilitarianism. I've always said the red team plays the U game. They're going by their old Roman roots. And if you study what the Republicans have always done, they always cared about money. Y'all just not hearing me though. See, when you start looking at shit that matters, then you start looking at things that really matter, that they always cared about that. That's their MO. Remember, Republicans care about one thing is making money, making them dollar digits. See, when you start looking at shit for what it is, you start looking at it for what it meant. And I'm just not saying it's a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. But when you start looking at things, you be like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. Yeah, that's what they're actually fucking doing. And that's what they've always done. Is to make it seem look good. But when the bad properties come in, they just be like, all right, this is, yeah. And then you look at the things that they've accumulated. But people don't like them regardless. But the issue is is how well they have done for the people. So they own people suffering, and they cut their SNAP benefits, which is crazy. I don't really trip off of that government subsidy stuff. Like I said, they'll never get it back. Now, Democrats will bring a new system and try to replace it with something that's valuable, tangible, you to have. That's just a controlled thing of money. If you have all these billionaires on both sides, they say, right? True. But billionaires are irrelevant, to be honest with you. But the ones that want to be super ultra rich like Elon Musk, Republican parties is a sinking ship. They was conning people the whole time when things didn't go their way. But you got to understand, Republicans are slightly finished, and they highly finished because they don't have no counterpoints to Zoran Mandani's mayoral race in New York. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's so low, they're getting by," but that's New York. New York's always been a finesse state. But shouts out to people in New York that voted. If you voted for dude, that's on y'all. I don't care about his belief system, and a lot of people try to say it's still idolatry. I don't care for that shit. Let them have that. They have different mayors all the time, man. They run the show. Now, no shots at New York, but New York is gonna be all right. New York is a business. They care about that money. They don't care about him making it. He's an asset, so they can control that. That's the shut. What's going on over there in the out east? That's what that's polling shows. And they say he's from Uganda. That don't matter. Ugandans are gonna come over here now. That's money for them, not for us. See, y'all distracted by the blue wave. The blue wave is gonna do some damage. They just gonna regulate the shit and reverse it all back like they did with the Obama thing. Republicans fucked up bad this time. They try to say they're doing great. No, they fucking up bad to hurt their own people. And they're gonna give it to the people that's gonna come over here. Watch. Taking the marches, and black people don't care. We don't even care about that now. Think about it. Everybody's so obsessed with money. And that's what's happening to us right now. Everybody's too busy want to be down, but not looking at the blue wave. It's gonna regulate all this shit. Enjoy this shit now. From next year and then on, he ain't gonna be around. I warned y'all this was gonna happen. Like guys like Zoran and them guys gonna take the vacuum of people. They're gonna go on the other side. Like I said, this is nothing but a political game to these people. It's like a sport to them, and this is what they do. Like political football, right? No matter how many seats they get, people still go be in the same situation. True, but y'all have a zombie mindset when you think like that. They help for certain people. I do see some results, and then you don't see none for their side. So it doesn't really matter who you vote for. They're gonna perpetuate the same bullshit we all seen over and over again. So I understand what the women of iHip News, they trying to be on TV. I've noticed that about their content. Their content is entertaining. It's nothing but entertainment. But I studied them. They said, man, they gonna be on the new MSNBC, probably CNN, and they're gonna be on these stations. They're gonna be like the Young Turks on YouTube TV, and they're gonna have their own TV station on YouTube. Watch what I tell you, because everybody's anti, you know what, and then you already know Google is anti him as well. They ain't gonna come out and say it, but they are. We know Disney is pro the other side. I ain't gonna say his name because he's a piece of shit. We don't fuck with him over here. That's hands down. He get what he get, but he is going after LBJ. Um, that cash fraud Patel, we want to call it. That dude's a fraud. The FBI is finished. That's gonna be regulated next year and year on out. Watch what I tell you. That's gonna be regulated. I'm telling you right now. If he gets regulated, he gets regulated. The e-files is not important now. That's a distraction for them to have this shutdown in the government. But they're gonna try to, and Rugg's trying to end that. They trying to lose their money. They don't like old boy like that. I'm trying to tell you, they're gonna drop him like a bad habit. He better be careful because people don't want him up in there. They just using him as bait, and then if he fucks up, it is what it is. Like you got people acting like he's gonna be there forever. He's not. It will never happen and never will, because if he loses this election to this Zoran guy, he's the first step. And imagine there's more like him. See, Republicans care about cash. They don't care who it is. They'll vote against this guy any day. You saw how he treated Elon Musk and all them guys. Elon is going against him. He know what's going on. But everybody wants to blame one side, but it's a business. They don't care about each other. And when I look at these niggas online reacting to Officer Tater Tot, piece of shit, Tatum, right? He get what he get, but he's a company man. He say he good. He don't need you rednecks. And that's what he's saying. But you know what he is saying? I'm siding with the business. He gonna get paid regardless. He good. Yeah, he's a sellout and everything and all that stuff, but he's good. But you niggas don't understand he will always be on TV. He ain't going nowhere. You niggas act like the worst C words that try to say you pro black, but you on some other bullshit. We see you niggas be on these podcasts. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all never gonna be shit. As far as I can tell. Y'all ain't never gonna be shit. Crying about, man, they need all this stuff to come back. They need all this back. They need all this to come back. You know what I'm saying? They need all this stuff to come back. They need all of it to come back. That's what they need. Let's see, it's about design. They need all of it come back. Okay. But that's what you got. I've been on here for years talking about the same old shit all the time. But and when you look at the online, people talking about the same nonsense. Now you got this bloke, Black Hokage guy, saying some crazy shit about a he called that guy a red pill incel. That guy's not an incel. The one that criticized he's a women ruin games. No, they haven't. Women has not ruined video games. It's a small niche of them, but now but dude's right, it is a 50-50. But guys like him with the glasses, he's a simp. He on the same level with this nigga is. He said, I gotta go. That don't mean nothing. You still a simp. You be watching Myron and them. I don't care if y'all watch them on clips. I don't watch them fools. Now I see them get dissed by Albert Preach. Albert Preach is my entertainment. I'm subscribed to them based off dissing these niggas. That's what I'm there for. But the rest of you niggas that religiously follow know it ain't talking points, you're a fan. I'm not a fan of these dudes. I don't fuck with these dudes. I don't even watch their bullshit content like that. I see them on the feed. I just don't react to them. I don't even watch this shit. So I stand on my hate. But you niggas that be reacting, you reaction channels are trash. I ain't got no talent. Y'all just fucking clowns and C words on the low, pretending to be pro black. You got a lot of fake pro blacks on YouTube. I've been saying this for so many years. I said this 4 years ago and prior. There's a lot of fake pro blacks in these spaces, and there's a lot of them in these content creations, or should I say, I hate the term content creator, but a lot of these users on YouTube, they're nothing but fake people on here. And the reason I say they fake and they pieces of shit, they don't represent us as a collective. I represent a small collective of people that has a pro black in them, and we stand on it. I'm consistent all the time. I don't promote it like that. I'm be about it. I be about my actions. But you got a lot of fucking clowns that dictate to say this is the type of stuff they need. But when you're on live streams like this, like mine's, I'm not one of those people that can just say be talking. They said they ain't gonna listen to my stream, and he said, "Oh, we don't see your face. You hear the voice." Well, you already see my face. It's all on the channel. On my outside streams, you can see it don't really matter. I'm just protecting myself, not trying to show my face to nobody. My voice do all the work. Everything else afterwards, because a lot of y'all slaves to the system. And then when you want to why, you got dudes in the White House that y'all capitulate to is you understand who he is. But y'all the same people that won't change but don't do shit for your damn selves. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just I'm so sick of these people on the internet with their little bullshit podcast. Nobody wants to hear they shit. And then want to try to talk bad about mine. But nigga, nobody listen to your shit, and your shit is bullshit. So at least my shit is listen after stream and replay, which is cool. I make my shit and move on. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about none of these niggas on YouTube. Because these niggas is losing to me in real life. Because I mean, I don't use the word real life. This is real life because we're using the internet as a tool and everything else. Realistically, these dudes are frauds. They're not about that shit. People need to stop using the word real life. We're in real life. People use the internet 95% of their communications. That's why I see when I get off this live stream and I say to myself, that's crazy. And then you see them in the heads and the phones. The communication's been lost for years. It's been lost before the pandemic. Now they elevated, made it worse. That's why you got all this male loneliness because people don't know how to talk to each other. They don't know how to build their confidence with themselves. So the human interaction is dead. They did a great job destroying that. So again, people say a bunch of dumb shit about people and they just don't know when to stop. That's the thing I don't like. You know what I'm saying? But I see a lot of shit that mattered, but did it really matter? You know what I mean? Like I just look at things from people say perspective, but you have to look at it for what it is. Like most people don't give a fuck about each other. They just don't. And then when they look at these things, they just like, is Sir saying the stuff that we're saying? I say, yeah, I'm saying the truth because most people don't give a fuck about each other and they do it all the time. And then I appreciate people around the world. Like I saw one of the videos talking about when they traveled and people do, they've always done that. I talk about this on the channel a lot and I've done this in the workplace and they don't like each other. They told me stories like that. I said, damn, if I ever visit one of their countries, I already know they ain't about shit no way. So again, most people ain't shit in general and it's designed that way because yes, utilitarianism is a concept that's been around forever and ever. And what we call utilitarianism, it used to be called Epicureanism back in the day when Epicurus was the father of that philosophy. And yes, it's a damaging philosophy in one way. And it has a lot of hedonistic ways, and you see it a lot in government, capitalism, you name it, what you got now. It's the same shit that collapsed. It ain't for everybody. Everybody doesn't want to be utilitarian all the time. Most people have nihilistic tendencies and other tendencies, and they don't want this one philosophy dictating and constructing their thoughts through a machine. Y'all just gotta look at things like that. And some people just look at it like, is this it? This is how we gonna roll, this is how we gonna be, and all this other stuff. And then you see this stuff and you see this all the time. You expect things to be perfect. And you just look at these things and be like, well shit. And that's how I look at it. And that's how you see these things, you be like, okay. And that's how you found things to be fortunate. But one thing about me, I'm just like looking at it outside looking in, like some people just crazy like that. But yeah, the internet had its place at one time. People was just happy and things like that, like people able to talk to each other even offline. They just the balance was there, but nowadays it's not, and it's a good thing. I think people are trying to go back to the old ways, but I think it's too late because people are stuck online. And the way he talked about Z, it's not really all Gen Z's fault, but I think Gen Z is known to have their own ways. Like people have their thoughts and everyone wants to praise them all the time, but really it don't mean shit if you don't have no structure. Because what we did online, like what y'all ignorantly call millennials or Generation Y, what I call them, the generation to me is small. I would say 85 to 94. If you're around my age, I would say that. See, the term millennial, that's a misused word by the boomers. They use that to divide the generations, but in reality, the millennials to me are more crossbreed two generations, Gen X and Generation Y. Gen X is basically, I would say, people after 81, and then you got 82 to 84. I consider them millennial Gen Xers. Now, us, we're Generation Y. If you're born 85 or my age, like close to the late 80s and then a little bit of the early 90s, we are considered Generation Y, and that's the smallest we go. And I think we're the most durable there is. Now, LeBron James, yeah, everybody misused the word millennial. I hate that term. Millennials can be anything. And millennials applies to, they try to say it's all the 80s, which is not true. It's somewhat of the 80s, but it's a mixture of the 80s. I say the millennial generation, they'll say, but it's no such thing as millennial generation. There's only generation X, Y, and Z. Generation Y is us. They don't want to call us Y for some reason. They so dumb that boomers did that. So yes, and then you have Generation Z, Zillennials, and then you got Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, or something like that. That's crazy. Generation Alpha and Beta and Gamma haven't come yet. There's some are Alpha, they're kids, but once they become Generation Beta, is gonna replace them. The stuff that they're talking about, it's just like the stuff that you see. It's like it's no debating that they will know that oh boy is the worst president of all time, worse than Andrew Jackson. The same policies, the same rigmarole, and all this other stuff you just see. You be like, okay, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. So we see this all the time, and then we like, and then I'm just looking at it like that. That's the stuff that you hear, but this generation just had enough with the older generation. Yeah, the young and old thing with Sergeant Woodby said is an issue, and then when you see Tyler Robinson did what he did against the Golden Ticket, it's crazy. They took him out the news and it backfired. I mean, I think it should be backfired, but what you learn is some people just ain't going to be about that. They're just frauds, man. And I'm just like here to tell you that people are out there for personal gain, political gain, and that's just how it is. And then you look at the stuff already. Yeah. And I'm just looking at people just going crazy. I've been thinking lately. Y'all ever wonder what happens if this world ever collapsed to different groups? I mean, seriously, like you got groups of people. I saw this in a video game once. I saw this in the Dying Light series. There's going to be civilians. There's going to be a group of people that used to be part of military, and what I'm saying is, like, I play Dying Light 2 a lot, and then you have these guys that used to be in the military. They would call themselves the Renegades, and then you got the other group that was in the military, had military gear. It's called the Peacekeepers. If we ever going to see that in this country, which is going to be very telling, because you got a lot of different groups wanting the same thing, which is insanity, by the way. And they have these little beliefs. I'm just saying, like, when is this going to be a thing? Y'all let me know, man, because when this is going to be a thing? Because I think, it's 28 minutes in, this is time is kind of slow, it is what it is. But if you're doing something, it does move fast. They don't really move fast like that. It's just a standstill. Give it about January when you see uh winter coming early, or long winters, or spring of next year. You'll see. I'm not excited about next year. I'm skeptical next year because 2026 is a interesting year. It's not a year that I would see hope, but I'm not waiting on 2028. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a year of destruction. You got to see what you got. But I look at things that, like I said, the country's gonna get better. No, it's gonna get better. This dude's gonna be out of there. And if there is an election or presidential election of one of the last 2 years of his term or whatever, which is a possibility. I've said this before. I said this again. If something happens next year and something happened to him, I promise you they'll probably make an election out of it. I guarantee you, because this country is known to have spectacles. If something happens to him this year, you know what I'm saying? I ain't wishing, nothing, but I'm just saying if that happens, do not be surprised if there's an election for a presidency for probably next year or 2027 or whatever. They say it's going to be one in 2028. It's a possibility, but I don't know. Something happens to old boy. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I bring up the post-apocalyptic culture of groups. You're going to have a civilian group, survivors, right? And then you're going to have a group of military men wanting a different philosophy and what causes it. And when I notice when I play these games, the post-apocalyptic games like the Dying Light series, I mean, the new game is straight. I love it because I played the first one and I said, damn, I should have played these games years ago, but it told a lot. See, zombies is the thing, but it's not really the thing. That's the dead idiots that followed. And then the rest that survived is living a life on the edge. So it takes time. And if we're in that realm, it's not a good look for this country. So, but we see this all the time. We say this stuff matters in the parameters of what we're talking about. Because you got a lot of people podcasting ever before. Like people say podcasting wasn't the future in 2021. And a lot of people said podcasting wasn't the thing in 2022. Yeah, 2021 and 2020 during the pandemic era. Before the pandemic era, podcast was looked down upon. People laugh at podcasts. I say it started 2003 in small spurts, but the bigger it got around the 2015 era, it became news cycles. People don't listen to them. They just listen to radio and all that stuff. If you look at all the years, you look at what's going on. But if you look at it now, fast forward today, after the pandemic, there's more podcasts coming around and people on the different belief system have their own podcasts, have their own news and recruitment and studio. That's the thing. See, when niggas was doing it during the pandemic, everybody was getting views. Everybody was equal balance. And it was competition back in the years of 2020. And then the next year, 2021 was huge. That was a big glow up for me to get my content and views back because I haven't done videos in years. I had a 5-6 year hiatus. I'll say a 5 to 6 year hiatus. And once I came back, it was jumping. I was getting views. Enjoyed it for a stint for that 4 years ago. And then 4 years later, I'm okay because it done dried up on YouTube after the pandemic was kind of over in 2022. See, 2022 was a year. It was an election midterm year. And then 2024 was the election year. That was a disaster, by the way. So this year is kind of rocky. Reminds me of 2023. It reminds me 2 years ago. This is going to be very, very, very interesting. But the year after this, oh my goodness. But then they talk about Zora Mandani wasn't supposed to win. They call him a communist and a socialist. It don't matter. He's y'all's new mayor. He's y'all's new mayor. If y'all from New York, shouts out to y'all. But he's y'all's new mayor, and y'all gonna have to get over it. It's a new world in America. You know how that is. But it is what it is. Like some people just look at it and be like, what's this nigga talking about? What's this nigga talking about? Well, I'm telling you the truth, what's going on. That's the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? What do you expect me to say? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, but that's how I look at it. And so many obstacles that's going on. Like, people are mad about oh boy fucking up everything, the SNAP stuff and food stamp EBT cards and all that stuff. Man, I don't care about none of that shit. Niggas need to quit being broke. They say, right? It don't matter if they're broke or not. The system worked for them anyway. I'm trying to tell you, this country is divided by classism, and the philosophy they push is utilitarianism because Christianity is just a smokescreen of the two. and they control it. Because these so-called white people, they have no history. I done did the history for y'all years ago. Y'all do your own research, websites. I don't have to explain shit to you dummies. But I'm saying these people just have not stopped, and then they're really talking about themselves, their survival, because they can't reproduce. I try to tell you, these people are mad because they don't want anybody of color to be of service. But you got to understand the world is dying to them. But to us, it's not, it's growing. The death is the mindset they on. And that's what you got to look at in so many cases. And so many cases that you can see that people just don't want to be around that. And I'm just looking at it like, okay, is this what we're on? And that's what we're on today. Just look at the stuff that you hear. But you know, Zohar Mandadi ain't the first one, the last one talking about socialism. I think my dad said it best in the car when we was talking. He said when Bernie Sanders was running against Hillary Clinton, he said America don't want the people in the carpool line and stuff like that. Talking about 2016 election. I'll never forget it when Hillary actually lost and they didn't want Bernie. So Bernie was trying to get something that he was going to be president of the United States in 2016 and that'd have been our president, Bernie Sanders. He was an old candidate running. He was old and they didn't want him to run. And black people love Bernie Sanders. So I think Bernie Sanders and AOC did a good job getting Mondani. Is that what y'all want? Y'all want socialism? Go ahead. That's what New York want. They said socialism gonna rule the economy. No, capitalism does. It's greed. And people that's got billions of trillions of dollars ruin people's lives in all these secret societies, aka Freemasonry, that runs the planet, that's killing the country. But it's founded by the same people that practice that stuff. And I've been saying this all the time. That's what America is founded on. It's not a Christian nation, it's a Freemasonic nation. And that's what America is built off on. And that's just a fact. The so-called founding fathers practice utilitarianism. I've been saying this many, many times. Utilitarianism and John Stuart Mill, they were all the original founding fathers and they understand that philosophy. And if I said this like 4 years ago, they set the standard. And I've said this many times, they're going to continue to ride that coattail that it's a Christian nation, which is not true, and they'll never be. It's not a theocracy. America will never be a theocracy because it's a Masonic culture. Theocracy will never exist in this country because of that. Without it, that's why it has a utilitarian feel to it. The greatest number of happiness of numbers won't allow you to do that. That's why people protest and people want to oust him, try to impeach him for shit that he obviously did. But it's like, where was this with anybody? It don't really matter at this point because people are stupid. They follow narratives and nonsense, act like Christianity is a standard, but it's not. And these niggas that be cooning for the so-called white people are the problem. They don't care about us like that. They care about their money and see how their channel is doing. Begging ass motherfuckers. But you got people like that. But you got dudes that think that's reality. Apparently, it's not. Got 57 minutes. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I see this all the time. I'm not gonna quit this stream. We got an hour. You know, we got it's a lot to talk about. But anytime you see content creators talk about the so-called manosphere and all this other stuff, like the manosphere that I know is 1.0. The rest of them is just fraudulent frauds out here. But anybody that talks about Myron and them, that's not a real manosphere. That's a fake red pill space. They're double agents. That guy was a Fed agent. He's been exposed so many times, not even funny. And yes, he's a same sexual. He's on that bullshit too. Always blaming same sexuals, but you doing the same shit they doing. Like make that make sense. Make that shit work. How that's supposed to work? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't take these dudes seriously, bro. But seriously, all the time. Don't you just think about what you're saying, sir? Yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy, man. People have a right to what they want to believe anyway. So I understand people, but you see it all the time, bro. You see it all the time. Let's see what this is going on. Okay, job place. Just looking at all the shit that's going on. Did 2 runs with this. I guess I can go with this run. I'm gonna go extra run. I'm gonna go extra run with this guy. I'm gonna go extra run with this guy. It's our third run. I'm just browsing right now. Sorry, I'm just pausing. I'm playing something in the background, but you know what I mean. I had to put it on mute. I didn't want no copyrights because they got the same game and all that. Okay, let's see something real quick. Uh, I can't go with the other gear. I probably will at the end game. Don't want drought place. I don't like drought place. Uh, Arsene knock. Let's do this. Yes, I can get another run in. I won't hit that. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff been going on, but me, I'm doing decent. You know, I'm doing decent out here. You know, you got people out here acting weird and stuff like that. Um, it is what it is. They said Trey Payne's a good game. Trey Payne's square. I'm tempted to get that game. I don't know. I might like that game for some reason. But you got a lot of people just be on. on bullshit. But you see what you see. But you got people say, "Oh, sir, you're not in the algorithm." Don't worry about the algorithm. That's a government op. Algorithms are for losers, bro. It's there to distract and deflect what people's what's going on and whatnot. So you know what I mean. So when you talk about what's going on in the world today, politics aside, it is what it is. You know. Yeah. It is what it is, bro. Yeah, X, what you call Twitter, man, it's gone in hell in the handbasket. Ain't nothing on there no more. It's nothing legit no more. Uh, you see this all the time. You just be like, okay, it's not legitimate anymore. Yeah, I'm just saying something real quick. But it's crazy though how people looking at the X done went down, bro. Everybody worrying about the other shit. But yeah, I was looking at that like people are celebrating, cheering. Everybody's being hope. I mean, some people are funny, man. But I watched Cam's show today. Like, it is what it is. Show with Mason. He was talking about food stamps. I said, this nigga's wild. He's trolling. He pissing people off already. He ain't slick. They dirty. They be talking about people and shit. They gonna come after him and say, this nigga talking about me, man. Like, and do something about it. You know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. Concord's sudden shutdown is such a big deal. It's been brought up by during the UK government debates. Eurogamer. Government debates on video games, consumer laws, and all that. Okay, UK's House Commons. This article's by Eurogamer. UK's House Commons have debated that need to improve video game consumer protection. Or, shut down. Oh Lord, here we go. Bunch of shitty articles. High profile Twitch streamer files defamation lawsuit against two fellow creators. Oh Lord, I don't like Twitch. Fuck Twitch, by the way. That's what's killing the internet. These little clowns on fuck Twitch. I said it. Colorado college student vows to fight back after student broad blocks TPUSA chapter. And ain't nobody caring about a turning point. Fuck them. Fix news. Bunch of clowns. It's over. Coca-Cola launched its first new holiday flavor in 5 years. Oh, here we go again. Microsoft agrees to game-changing new 20-year deal. We are honored. Microsoft's trying to make their stocks as good right now. We are honored. Microsoft has signed the 3 new long-term solar power agreements in Japan. Uh-oh. They trying to take over Japan. They might buy PlayStation if you ain't careful. Because if Sony keeps fucking up, Apple keeps fucking up, they might buy. They want to be a big corporation. Trump trying. I mean, excuse. Said his name. Apologize, y'all. I mean, oh boy, old fool. He might give him that, but he might be ousted before all that. Former Atlanta Hawks senior VP charged with embezzlement 3.8 million to buy Porsche tickets in the Athletic. He's a former Atlanta Hawks senior VP. Damn, that's bad. Okay, Fubu Live TV and sports. Fubu channel stores launches giving consumers frictionless access to premium standalone plans. Fubu channel store offers an aggregate and an ingested experience for the standalone plans, which includes direct to consumer services and delivers it to consumers through a single frictionless experience, said David, co-founder and CEO of Fubu. Fubu Channel Store provides frictionless access to premium standalone. They banned ESPN off of YouTube TV. They blacked it out because of the financial deals in Google. But I'm not gonna get into that. Y'all can find that article yourself. But I'm just reading this by the Business Wire and talk about Fubu TV. This is your option if you want to watch. If y'all watch it on YouTube TV, watch Fubu TV instead. They got all the deals, and it says a frictionless deals, right? Experience, right? Fubu channel provides frictionless access to premium standalone plans, ingested indirectly into the Fubu experience. With the Fubu channel store, subscribers can easily access the premium programming that they subscribe to in the central hub without exiting their Fubu app. But the premium standalone subscription is currently available in the Fubo channel store, including direct to consumer DTC service from multiple region sports networks, RSNs, and select markets, as well as DSN One, Hallmark Plus, MGM, and Paramount Plus. With Showtime Stars, subscribers to these standalones also receive Fubo Free, a robust collection of nearly 200 free ad streaming television. Fast channels. These standalone plans are available to consumers without a Fubo subscription. Fubo channel store production. Fubo channel store product images here. At Fubo, we always have learned in our proprietary tech stack differentiated the user experience, solve consumer pain points, said David Gandler, right? David Gandler, the founder and CEO of Fubu. We hear consumers' frustration with having to switch between multiple apps, access their favorite content, but Fubu Channel Store offers an aggregated, ingested experience for standalone plans, which include direct to consumer services, but delivers to its consumers through a single frictionless experience. About Fubu TV Incorporated, in NYS, Fubu Dyson, a consumer first TV streaming company with the missions of delivering premium source and news and the entertainment programming through a best in class user experience. But that offers a great choice of flexibility and value. But the sixth largest paid TV company in the United States is UBS, estimates to June 30th, 2025, known as 2025, right? And ranked among the America's fastest growing companies in 2025 by the Financial Times. Fubu TV Incorporated owns Hulu Plus. They own Hulu Plus. Yeah, Fubu TV owns Hulu Plus and Live TV Entertainment, Fubu Sports, and Molotov Entertainment Sports, which streams and markets around the globe. Fubu TV Incorporated is an affiliate of Walt Disney's company. Well, they are affiliate to Disney. Not a fan, but it is what it is, man. Here we go again. Yeah, man, they trying to make a buck. They trying to compete against YouTube, man. Google's gonna laugh. Google's gonna laugh, man. They laughing. They don't care. They act like they too big to fail. Comcast struggles to win back customers due to the growing problem. Comcrap. This is a Street article. Comcast struggles the growing due the television, the rise of Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Fubu TV probably. Comcast struggles to win back customers due to the growing problem. Comcast is continues spot a concern pattern of customers' behavior. Customers' behavior. Okay. Comcast, which provides cable TV, phone, and internet service to consumers under the name Xfinity, is struggling to shake an alarming consumer trend that is impacting business. It's making significant changes to fight it. In its third quarter earnings report for 2025, Comcast flagged that this revenue declined by almost 3% of the year over the year during the quarter. But additionally, while it lost 257,000 cable TV customers, aimed the nationwide cord cutting trend. It is also to fight it and make it okay. It made me lose my place. Customers aiming the nationwide cord cutting trend, but it also said 140. It says saw 104. I mean, excuse me. I'll read that again. And trend, but it also saw 104,000 internet customers discontinue their service. They're losing all the customers. But the steep loss in the internet customer follows Comcast's decision to increase prices for its Xfinity service earlier this year. It decided strategic investments to make its network smarter, faster, and more reliable. But the move angered customers. To add fuel to the fire, Xfinity also decreased its monthly auto-pay discount from $5 to $2. Yeah, $5 to $2 for customers who use credit card and debit cards to pay their monthly bills. Comcast is one of many traditional internet providers that has recently raised prices for its service over the past year, and many consumers nationwide are growing tired of the trend. Okay. How U.S. consumers are responding to rising internet service fees. About 43% of the consumers that say the cost of their internet service increased the most compared to other home services. And then number two, here's the point number two. The average price increase for the internet service was $20.78 per month. And the third thing is additionally, 59% reported feeling misled by the price of the terms of their internet plan. And then the fourth thing is nearly three in four people canceled, downgraded, or consider switching internet providers due to high prices. Sources, reviews.org. So many customers nationwide have been flocking to cheaper internet options such as fixed wireless internet, 5G home internet, which is offered by phone carriers such as T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T. T-Mobile is still the biggest right now. That's what I got. Although 5G home internet technically isn't faster than the cable or fiber internet, it offers a lot of value, said Peter Hosselin, but managing editor at reviews.org since service say 5G internet packages are typically sold at a fixed rate with no extra fees for installation or equipment. You often get to other perks too, like the unlimited data and the bundle discounts when you pair it with cell phone plan from the same provider. Comcast CEO sounds the alarm on the major threat of hurting customer numbers. During the all earnings in October 30th, Comcast CEO Mike Kavanaugh said that the broadband environment remains intensely competitive, which is we do not expect changes anytime soon. He warned that despite the company's rapid expanse of fiber internet, fixed wireless internet remains a growing threat. Fiber expansion continues at a steady pace. And was as said before, we expect most of our footprint will eventually be overbuilt, said Kavanaugh. At the same time, the fixed wireless remains a durable competitor serving price sensitive segments with the moderate performance needed. But against this backdrop, we have adapted our approach to compete more effectively for a long term. Our strategy rests upon three pillars, but the network product and customer experience. Over the past few months, Comcast has focused on providing more transparent pricing to Xfinity customers, but to prevent more of them from fleeing to competitors. So during the second quarter of this year, Comcast has moved its local internet to offers the consistent national pricing structure and introducing four new flagship speed tiers. But it also lowered everyday pricing to add 1 year and 5 year price lock guarantees to its internet plans without contracts. But to enhance the value, it began offered a free Xfinity mobile line for 1 year for all the new existing internet customers during the earnings call. But Comcast chief financial officer Jason Armstrong said that these changes have yielded positive results far despite the recent decline in internet customers. So we made this significant pivot into our go-to market strategy this year, focus on the simplifying pricing, improving transparency, enhancing to the customer's experience, said Armstrong. While it is early, we're encouraging by what we're seeing in our broadband customer base, but continue stabilizing in the voluntary churn, a healthy mix of customer opting into a 5 year price guarantee, nearly 40% of the new connects choosing gig speeds, which is up to 10 points from the start of the year. Changes context customers should expect to see in 2026 is a bunch of bullshit. Ain't no changes. Typical article. It's by the street. And yes, this is, it's an hour, we're hour in 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Okay. So I just read you about a bunch of shitty articles. Comcast is struggling. They can't compete against Google / YouTube TV. Fubo TV, of course, they right there, and then Fubo's mixed with Disney. By the way, it's competition. This is utilitarianism 101. Are they happy with the greatest number of happiness of this fake empire? It's over. I suggest U.S. won't pay any SNAP benefits during the shutdown, contradicting court filing. They scamming y'all, bro. I don't care about SNAP benefits. So, I mean, I'm good on that. Yeah, man, it's a bunch of shitty articles online. Norway suspends wealth fund ethic rules to shield big tech. Come on, Microsoft. Man, they ain't nobody worried about Microsoft, man. Shitty soft. So it's a lot of bullshit articles online. But yeah, I mean, the world is in a dire straits. Yeah, the world economy is struggling. Yes, it is what it is. People just say a bunch of filler shit and then expect people to know what's going on. People are struggling out here. And me, I'm all right. I got some money on the side or whatever. But AI's not gonna rule it. AI is a weapon. It is what it is. It's not good. It needs to be regulated because I try to tell you, the blue wave's gonna regulate all this shit, and they still gonna use the tools that it's already been put down. And Zohar Mandani is a good example. They in it for big tech. All these people that voted for him, he's gonna go the ways of the tech. They deal with science and all that stuff. I'm not saying he's a bad candidate. I'm saying that's their philosophy, that's their belief. They try to be on TV so they can be standard. And they're gonna do the same thing, but in a different way. They just gonna split people in half. They don't want that overlap. All right, so with that, until next time, shalom to the people of Israel, to the Gentiles, and shout to the ones that skywatch. Appreciate y'all. And y'all can watch this on the playback. That's all I got. This is the Daily Hump Dump, the 41st edition. Until next time, I'll give y'all the 42nd edition, not the next Wednesday, Wednesday after next. Until next time, I'm signing off.